Hey everybody, it's Rob from PMDG. This video is not really part of the official 737 montage. It stems from a piece we put together that was originally conceived to be part of our initial introduction for the 737 series. When you look at it a little closely, you'll see why I never got into video production and I don't fly drones. I stick to airplanes. But even though the video quality is not that great, the scenery is. In fact, the scenery is just superlative. And we realize a lot of folks buying a scenery that focuses on a small airport that has a big factory on it might not be something you'd immediately leap to. But we thought that by showing it to you, you might change your mind. 20 years ago, when we were getting ready to release our first version of a 737, I turned to Vin and I said, hey, could you throw together the Boeing factory up in Seattle so we could launch the airplane from there? And, it's not like he didn't have anything else to do, so he looked at me like I was crazy and told me he'd consider it one day and then promptly ignored it. So finally, we get to kind of do that. There's something exciting about pushing a new airplane out, especially on a platform that's this beautiful. So when Stanislav and his team made this scenery, it just seemed like, yeah, this is the place where we're going to launch our 737 adventure. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of video from here. A lot of it's already shot, it's being edited together, and I have the joy of trying to do the voiceover from my office in the house and edit out all the ambulances that go by and the dogs barking and things like that. But what better way to celebrate kicking off our 737 experience in Microsoft Flight Simulator than pushing it out of the paint hanger in Renton using our own pushback tug. This is me driving it right now. You can see that I can push and pull the airplane to get it pretty much wherever I want to go. As the airplane rides over ridges in the pavement, you'll see the wingtips bounce a little bit. All of it's physics-based. The elasticity of the wing structure is all calculated in real time based on what the airplane's doing. Makes it kind of a neat animation. One of the things that we are looking forward to is getting you all in the airplane, and that's coming right quickly. We're currently evaluating some of the changes that Asobos made for Service Update 9. We've been looking at most of those for a while. Unfortunately, a few of them conflict a little bit with our testing program, so we have to have some beta testers in Service Update 8 and some in Service Update 9, and if we make the changes for 9, then the ones in 8 can't use it and that sort of thing. So it does create a little bit of friction in the testing paradigm, being in this close to a Service Update release. In a perfect world, we would have released this about, a year ago, and none of that would matter, but there'll always be something. So it's just something we work through as we go forward. But speaking of updates, I want to talk a little bit about the strategy that we have going forward for the 737 development. For those who've been around flight simulation for a long time, you'll recall that not too long ago it was not uncommon for a developer to release a product, call it done, and then move on to the next project. With the 737 in Microsoft Flight Simulator, we're anticipating a very active post-release development cycle. This period will last for 24 weeks and will include 2-week update cycles through which we will correct any issues that pop up during the 737's initial entry into customer use, as well as adding new features that are still in development under the 737 program. For example, the tablet that we've modeled in the prepared version of the 737, we've deprecated it from this product and simply taken it out of the cockpit altogether. We did that because there's a number of features in that tablet that were incompatible with Microsoft Flight Simulator, and the amount of development that it was going to take to make them compatible was actually more than it would take to simply replace it with a new, more modern looking tablet that gives us the freedom to add in some features that may not exist in the actual Boeing tablet, but that are really useful in the simulation environment. So once that tablet is ready for your use, we'll roll it into one of those 2-week maintenance update cycles, and one day you'll load the airplane up and it will appear and you'll have a new feature. Which brings me to the point of feature commonality. If you buy the 737-700 and you're perfectly happy with that and have no interest in the other airplanes, you won't be missing out on any features, because any features that get added to the 737 Next Gen product line will get added to all 4 body types. We did that intentionally in order to ensure that our customers don't need to make any purchases beyond the airplane that they actually wish to fly. So if you only want to fly a 700, just buy that one. If you only want to fly an 800, just buy that one. Both airplanes will be full simulations of their respective airplanes, and they'll share common features across them. One other item that a number of folks have asked us about is whether or not the 737s will be made available through the Microsoft Marketplace. And yes, absolutely, that is our intention. There's a number of technical hurdles that we want to make sure that the product clears in terms of stability and quality before we push it through the Microsoft Marketplace, but that definitely is in the future. Many folks have also asked about the status of Xbox. In the update notes from Asobo that accompany Service Update 9, we're seeing some entries there that lead us to believe that some of the compatibility issues between the types of products that we make and Xbox are being surmounted. So we anticipate, with some hope, that we'll be able to push both the DC-6 and the 737 product lines out to Xbox users as the summer progresses. So thank you for coming along on this little journey as we towed the airplane from the paint shop out to the stand where we can get it ready for flight. I suppose this journey is both actual and metaphorical, since this video was really going to wind up being left on the cutting room floor, and you all have been with us through this entire development cycle as we've gotten this airplane to where it is. So I figured it would be kind of a fun, whimsical way to get you in the mindset to get ready and get excited to start seeing and hearing the airplane in operation, because that's what's coming up next. The next video that we're going to unveil, you're going to get to see the airplane and you're going to get to see it power up. Alright, that's enough for now. On behalf of all of us here at PMDG, thank you very much for your support. We do appreciate it. We'll talk to you real soon.